All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get started with 1.3, dot 3, constraining a sketch and on shape. And we dealt a little bit with this with the last assignment. Now, I've emailed you guys a copy of this file that you see on the screen. Um, you can also access it in Google Classroom. Just click on the link. You will have to make a copy of it. So come up here to your three bars and click Copy Workspace, right? Now, what we are going to do is each one of these geometric figures has some directions below it. Each one of these geometric figures has some instructions below it. What we're going to do is we're going to follow these instructions and we're going to use all the different constraints that are available to us. When we are finished, what I'm going to have you do is take a screenshot of your final product and you're going to upload it to Google Classroom under activity 1.3.3. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to come down here to our sketch one and we're going to right click and choose edit. And that's going to open our sketch one. Now, what I'm going to do now, what you're going to see is this is going to take up a lot of bandwidth. So as I go through these, for some of these, it's going to take a little bit of time for it to activate. So I'm going to move this over onto my screen. And I'm going to enlarge it. And as you can see, it says make these lines parallel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up to my constraints over here. By default, it may say coincident. And I'm going to click my arrow to the right here. And I'm going to find a parallel line. So I want to first I want to click on my line that I want to make the other lines parallel to. And then I'm going to click on the following lines. And as you can see, the wheel of death pops up. And it's going to take a little bit of time for those to go parallel. So you have to be patient. And so these two lines went parallel, and we're waiting on this one. So as you can see, the instructions for this one is to make these lines perpendicular. So I'm going to come down here, I'm going to click my arrow, and I'm going to find the perpendicular constraint. And all right, let me go ahead and, where's my perpendicular? There we go, we got it. Okay, so I'm going to click on my first line, and then the second line that I want to make perpendicular. And again, that's going to take a little bit of time. And meanwhile, while I'm waiting for that, there he goes. It just changed. So I see, I'm going back to the parallel line one. I see it didn't make that last line. It did not make that last line parallel. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to click on one of my parallel lines. And then I'm going to click on that third one. And it should correct it for me. There it goes. So you guys kind of get the pattern. So just follow the instructions. It's probably actually best for you to follow along with me, actually. So this one says, fix the center point of the large circle, then make all of the circles concentric. That's spelled incorrectly. It should be Concentric. So I'm going to find the concentric constraints, and we all know what concentric is. As a matter of fact, I mentioned that at the end of class yesterday. Concentric just basically means sharing a common center. So I'm going to click on the first one, and then I'm going to click on the second one. My little wheel of death pops up, and then I'm actually going to go ahead and click on that first one again, and then click on that third circle. Looks like I may have to do it again. Oh, no, there it goes. There we go. So all those circles are concentric now. They all share our common center. So now I'm going to come all the way over here at the bottom. Okay, it says make the end point of the line coincident with the center of the circle. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to my coincident. I'm going to click on the center of the circle, and then I'm going to click on one of the endpoints of the line. And while we're waiting for that, I'm going to go to the next one. This one says make one line vertical. Okay, it just activated. Now for this one, it says to make one line vertical and the other one horizontal. So I'm going to choose horizontal first. And then I'm going to change it to the vertical. And then click that second line. There we go. Okay, now, well, we're still waiting on for the second one. All right, so I'm just going to go to this one. There you go. It just corrected itself. Now, this one says to make both circles tangent to the line and then tangent to each other. So I'm going to click on tangent, and then I'm going to click my line. I'm going to click a point, and then I'm going to click my first circle. I'm going to click my line again, and then I'm going to click my second circle because it says make both circles tangent to the line and then tangent to each other. And so after I do that, with the tangent still selected, I'm going to click a point on my circle.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You look nice every day.
Well, thank you.
Being professional looking and.
It's the cold weather.
Huh?
It's the cold weather.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
It's gonna get colder. That's what they say.
Yeah, I'm going to go back to dressing like a bum when it warms up.
Not saying that you didn't look nice before, but you look like a business, sometimes that's good for students, to see that.
Yeah, well, back when I. All right, I'm going to try to edit that part out, but let me go back. I'm going to start over with this one. Okay, so it says to make both circles tangent to the line and then tangent to each other. So I'm going to click up here and I'm going to choose tangent. I'm going to click my line, and then I'm going to click my first circle. I'm choosing a point on the outer part of the circle. And then for my second circle, I'm going to make that tangent to the line. And then it says to make the circles tangent to each other. So remember, tangent is that the geometric figure basically share a point. So each of these circles are touching a point on the line. And then eventually when it finishes processing, the circle is going to touch a point, connect at a point to each other. And that's the definition of tangent. There you go. Now, Let's go over, make sure I didn't miss anything. Let me reduce. Okay, so we got our last one here. Let me enlarge it so we can read it. It said make all the lines on the rectangle equal and make the two circles equal in size. Now, when I created this, I made a mistake. Uh, when I drew this, I should have drew it as lines, 4 lines, and connected them at each, constrained them at a point. But I basically just drew a rectangle using a rectangle tool. But that's okay. We're going to follow through with the process. So if these lines were not the same, um, and we wanted to make them the same, so we would click equal, and then I'll click on the first line, then the second line, third line, third line, fourth line. And if they were not the same size, it would make them the same size. And then it says to make the two circles equal in size. So again, my equal constraint is still selected. So I'm gonna click on my first circle, then I'm going to click on my second circle. All right, there you go. Okay, so now you should be familiar with how constraints work. So I want you to go ahead and accept the sketch, and then you're gonna take a screenshot. Make sure you size it up so you get the whole thing. So then I'm gonna redo that. I'm gonna take a screenshot. I'm gonna select everything I want to include in my screenshot. I'm gonna create a blank Google Doc. Do a Control V or edit paste the screenshot, give it a title. In Google Classroom, you're going to upload it to this for a grade. Now, it's not going to open until 10 o'clock, so make sure you get that done. Okay? Now, also, by the way, I do have the vocabulary in making holes in CAD. You're going to need to be familiar with that for your exam. So, and that's going to be in Quizlet. So you can make sure you go through those at some point. I'm going to give you some more information on when we're going to have your test. So make sure you're familiar with all of those terms. Okay? All right. And if you have any questions or struggles or just anything, make sure you talk to me.